The Canadian Rockies may be calm, but inside the G7 summit, it's anything but. World leaders have arrived in Alberta to confront a global order unraveling at the seams. On one side, a war is erupting between Israel and Iran. On the other, Donald Trump is back and threatening to break whatever unity still exists among Western allies. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says the risk of regional escalation is huge. His government has already sent fighter jets to the Middle East. But diplomatic calls for de-escalation feel powerless against the force of events. Trump, meanwhile, is the wild card. He's floated ideas as outrageous as annexing Canada or taking over Greenland. He's scrapped with nearly every leader in attendance. And now, at the G7 table, he sits like a wrecking ball, swinging unpredictably between disruption and diplomacy. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, hosting the summit, has already cancelled the final communique. Why? Because he knows Trump might refuse to sign it, or worse, hijack it, for one of his signature stunts. Then there's Macron. The French president stopped in Greenland on the way to Canada, in a pointed move meant to show that Europe defends sovereignty and territorial integrity. But his lonely stand risks being more symbolic than strategic, especially after repeated failures to win Trump's support for Ukraine. Keir Starmer finds himself in an awkward position too, praising Trump in public while dodging questions about the president's outrageous threats. His balancing act between British-American trade deals and Commonwealth solidarity with Canada is becoming increasingly difficult. And what of Ukraine? President Zelensky is back for another round of pleading with the West, but with headlines dominated by missiles over the Persian Gulf. His country risks being pushed to the back of the line. The G7 summit is no longer the club of democratic unity it once was. Italy leans toward Trump's protectionism. Japan is hedging. The EU is fragmented. And Germany is cautious. In a sign of the times, non-G7 countries like India, Brazil, South Africa, South Korea, Australia, and the UAE are also at the table. Their presence reflects a multipolar world, a world where the West no longer calls all the shots. This summit could still produce deals, humanitarian aid to Gaza, a new G7+ framework to counter BRICS, even quiet coordination on drone warfare. But make no mistake, the G7 is on fragile ground. Trump has returned not just with power, but with a mission to upend the system. And if world leaders don't find common ground soon, this could be the summit that marks the end of Western cohesion as we knew it. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into global diplomacy and the future of international power. See you in the next one.